On the eve of Thanksgiving, 1971, a heavy, relentless rain fell over Portland, Oregon. Inside the airport, holiday crowds pushed toward their gates, unaware that one of the most studied crimes in American history was about to begin right at a ticket counter. A man carrying a black attaché case approached the Northwest Orient Airlines counter and paid cash for a one-way ticket to Seattle. He gave the name Dan Cooper. He was mid-40s, wearing a sharp business suit, a white shirt, and dark sunglasses he never removed. Once on board Flight 305, Cooper took seat 18C in the rear of the Boeing 727. He lit a cigarette, ordered a bourbon and 7-Up, and then calmly waited for the plane to reach cruising altitude. Shortly after takeoff, he caught the eye of flight attendant Florence Schaffner and slipped a piece of paper into her pocket. Thinking he was just another lonely businessman handing out his phone number, she simply didn't bother to look at it. Cooper's corporate persona acted as a high-stakes disguise. By looking and acting like a common executive, he walked past airport security and boarded the aircraft without raising a single suspicion. Cooper leaned closer to the attendant. "Miss," he whispered, "you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." Schaffner opened the note. In neat, all-capital letters, it demanded $200,000 in currency, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck standing by in Seattle. To demonstrate the weight of his demands, Cooper opened his briefcase. Inside, Schaffner clearly saw 8 red cylinders attached to wires and a large battery. The threat was no longer theoretical. For 2 hours, the plane circled Seattle while the FBI scrambled to gather the ransom. In the cabin, the 36 other passengers remained oblivious, told only that a minor mechanical issue was delaying their arrival. Cooper had neutralized the crew and dictated the terms of the hijacking without causing a panic, effectively weaponizing the commercial airliner. Once the money was delivered in Seattle, Cooper released the passengers but kept the pilots and one attendant as hostages. As the plane refueled, he issued a highly specific set of flight instructions. This diagram compares a standard flight path with Cooper's requirements. He ordered the pilots to fly toward Mexico City at exactly 10,000 feet, with the landing tear down and the wing flaps set to 15 degrees. Most critically, he demanded a speed of just 150 knots. At this speed, wind resistance is low enough to exit the aircraft without being killed by the slipstream. Cooper was calculating the exact physics required for mid-air survival. His final requirement was that the cabin remain unpressurized. This ensured that the rear air stair door could be opened manually against the outside air pressure once they were in flight. These specific flight parameters suggest the hijacker possessed a technical fluency with Boeing airframes and paratrooping mechanics, typically found in military contractors or elite flight crews. At 7:40 p.m., the jet took off again, flying straight into a freezing winter storm. The temperature outside was sub-zero, and visibility was non-existent. Cooper ordered the remaining attendant into the cockpit and told her to lock the door. He was now alone in the unpressurized cabin. At 8 p.m., a warning light flashed in the cockpit. The rear stairs had been deployed into the night. The pilots felt a massive shift in air pressure as Cooper stepped off the stairs. He plunged at 200 miles per hour into the pitch-black wilderness of the Cascade Mountains. Cooper had completed a flawlessly engineered mechanical exit, only to hurl himself into a lethal, unpredictable force of nature, instantly vanishing from the physical world. The military launched Operation Norjack, one of the most extensive manhunts in history. They combed the rugged Washington terrain for months, but the search yielded no body or parachute. The FBI's primary source of physical evidence was a single item left behind on the plane: Cooper's cheap black clip-on tie. Decades later, using advanced electron microscopes, scientists discovered something hidden in the tie's fabric: microscopic particles of pure titanium. In 1971, pure titanium was incredibly rare. It was used almost exclusively in secretive aerospace projects and chemical plants, often within highly restricted military contractor facilities. This microscopic discovery led investigators to reconsider Cooper's background, pointing toward a disgruntled insider who used the aviation industry's very own technical secrets to facilitate his escape. In 1980, an 8-year-old boy found 3 bundles of the exact ransom cash, totaling $5,800. The bills were degraded, but the rubber bands were intact. This forensic anomaly, since rubber typically rots in a few years, suggests the money wasn't buried there in 1971. This discovery leaves two possibilities. Either Cooper survived the jump and buried the money years later, or the river moved his remains in a way that defied natural decay. In 2016, the FBI officially suspended the investigation. After 45 years, the trail went completely cold. By combining a calculated engineering plan with a disappearance into the void, D.B. Cooper executed the ultimate skyjacking and transformed himself into a permanent American legend.